Hey YouTube, Wednesday morning. It's pretty hot this morning. It's around 70 already. I've got some 2x4s here on the bottom of this pile. You can see there's 1x on the top, 2x4s on the bottom. Now they look brown and that's from the sun changing them color. But there's nothing wrong with these 2x4s at all. So my neighbor gave me a list the other day of stuff that he needs to build his shed. So I'm going to start taking from these piles. Although that second pile is for my garage addition, so I'm not taking that. But from this, a little bit from that, and some things I need to cut today, or what I'm going to get together on a pile to give him what he asked me for. I'm going to have to get the list together then. Okay, so I've been loading some stuff up. We want to see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of 2x4, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 across. So that's 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 83, 8-footers, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 10-footers. So let me go grab this paper and we'll see what all we have on that list. Okay, so there's 10 2x4 8s there and 20 10-footers. So I need 12 more 10-footers. But there's 10 2x4s 8 there. Let's see here. There's 30 here. There's 7 foot, but he's getting 8. So 30, 40. Yeah. Let's see what's on the other side here. Oh, they're 2x8. So 40, and I'm just giving them some extra in case they're bent or twisted or whatever, because some are, you can't get away from that. 2x4x2. If he has 40, he has 30 of them. 38-footers would give him 4 times 30 is 120. So he'll have more than enough of these. So the 24-foot or 24 pieces, 30 pieces, and 10 pieces of 2x8 are all in this pile. Now I got to add to this 12 10-footers for right now. Okay, so let me see what I got as far as that. Okay guys, so it's raining again, and this finishes up the 2x4s that I'm in need of. 20 10-footers, 10 2x8s, 2x4 8, 30 2x4 7s, and then 24 2x4 2-foot, which there's more than enough 2x4 to cover that. So that's the 2x4 pile. This is for a shed, a pole barn lumber list that I was telling you about, that the neighbor wants. Oh, yeah. Well, it's rained 3 times today now. And it's the 3rd time I've changed my t-shirt because I was soaking wet. I need to get my 4-wheeler out of here. I have it parked here with this trailer, and park the trailer so I can put the 4-wheeler away. I'm just about done with them 2x4s. I need a 2x8 or 2, I think he wants, and I have some. They're just on the bottom of one of the piles I got to get up. Okay, the next thing I got to clean up is the pieces of telephone pole there that aren't wanted. So I have a neighbor that'll take that and he'll cut it up and burn it or whatever. I don't care what he does. The longer round ones there, they want to cut into 2x4 short pieces, and that's fine. So I'll put my small skids on and start getting rid of that stuff now. Okay, well that's another little job done. I got rid of that scrap. So now I got to change the forks over to the chain, and I'm going to put a log on the sawmill to cut. Guys, just so you know, I've been working with lumber for 50 years or more. I was a builder for 50 years. I know how to pick out good lumber. I know what kind of lumber I'm looking at. I know what's not good. And let me just say this to you also. I don't have any lung problems. I've got all my fingers and all my toes. I don't have any problems at all that originated with working or the way I work. So you guys who are all worried about the creosote that's in telephone poles, which these poles have been dried out for years. It's not like the creosote's really coming out of the pole and it's wet and harmful. It's dried out. So anyway, and think about guys are climbing up poles every day, and I never saw one of them wear a respirator. So I'm not saying that, you know, you can say anything you want on the YouTube channel. That doesn't really matter to me. But you're not helping me by telling me I need to wear gloves or a mask or glasses. Usually I wear sunglasses to keep the sawdust out. But unless the wind's blowing this way, which I'm surrounded in trees, I don't get very much dust at all in my face, very little, because it's blowing out through the chute on the side of the sawmill. So just so you know, unless you've run the sawmill, worked with the lumber for as many years as I have, there may be some things that you just don't know what you're talking about, and you might want to bite your tongue and look at some of the videos and just realize that for me, I have diabetes. That has nothing to do with wood, okay? Not a thing. That's my only problem. So it is what it is. But I'm just saying, trying to tell me that I should be wearing this, wearing that, doing this, doing that, doesn't help me one bit, because I'm not listening to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt at all. Now, I will tell you that if you're cutting freshly treated lumber, like say, the pressure treated stuff you buy for a deck. I used to build decks that were 4 houses wide, so they were townhouses, so you're looking at roughly a 120-foot long deck. When I would snap a line and cut off the edge of the deck, because the boards were all put on a 45, there were some times there where I'd be puking and gagging on that stuff. But that stuff was still wet. That's the problem with that. I just want you to know. And it wasn't like I did it every day. I mean, a deck that size takes about maybe 2 or 3 days to build, depends on how many guys are with you. So anyway, this stuff that's dried out pretty well, I don't worry about any kind of creosote or anything else in it. If that's what your main concern is, then fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do what you want to do to protect yourself. I'm just saying I'm doing what I know I have to do to protect myself. Alright, so anyway, I'm going to be putting another log on here and doing some cutting, and then I'll get this video up for you. Have a good one so far, guys. This Saturday here has been crazy. It's rained 3 times and the sun's been shining 3 times. So, and it's supposed to go to 44 tonight. I don't know what's going on. Let me get this log on here and then I'll start cutting. Okay guys, I want to show you something here. Now this is a 16-foot log. I can get 16 footers out of here if I wanted to. Now, I'm not saying I don't want 16 footers. What I'm saying is because of the bend, and I'll show you the bend in this log, it's going to take a 2x4 or so away from me. If you look down there, you can see I'm about 4 inches away from the log. So there's a bend in here. So in order to save that and to not lose that, what I need to do is cut this log. Like I say, it's 16 foot. I can cut it at 8 foot and then get 8-footers out of this instead of trying to get 16-footers and losing a couple of boards. Because I'll be able to, coming back this way, let me just show you. If I come back from this end, you can see I'm only the thickness of one board, not even a full board there that I might lose. So it would be better, instead of trying to cut 16-footers out of a crooked log, it would be better to cut it and go from there. So I'm going to cut this thing in half. And in case you're wondering, I did not get my saw over to the shop yet. Now normally I fix all my stuff, but the carburetor is giving me some grief. I think it's gummed up inside because I had the fuel in it all winter, and there was about 2 months there that I didn't use the saw at all. So I'm gonna cut this off camera so it doesn't hurt you to watch it, but I'm just saying that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna cut this at 8 foot, and then I'll cut that end up there into 8 foot 2x4s. Okay guys, so I've got 14 inches at the small end of that first log there. So I can get about a 10 inch square cant out of that, almost 9.9. So it'll be close. Might have a little wane on it. want to move that log down there a little bit so I can get the blade through there. I'll tell you what, we got some beautiful wood here. The knots are very small, nice straight grain, so it's looking good. Let me just back up here. There you go. So we should be able to get a nice cant out of this thing. See what happens with it. Oh, and another thing, guys, I wanted to say to you, I don't lie. I'm not afraid to tell the truth. If I make a mistake, I make it. And guys have seen me make mistakes doing different things. Sometimes I got something else on my mind, just so you know. So anyway, I'm going to just keep going here. Okay. good, looking good. I turned that over to get the bigger wane down on the bottom. There's a little wane on that right side, but it's not very much. That's a 2x10. I'll have to cut that after I cut this other 2x4s out of here. Well guys, my battery died there and I went to get a new one, and while I was gone it started raining again. This is the fourth time today that it's rained and then the sun came out. Crazy. I'm gonna grab my saw. Well, I've got two more 2x4s out of this flitch here, or I mean this cant that I can get here yet. So I'll cut them. It looks like here. I'm going to get two 2x4s, and then I'll cut a 1x out of that last piece. Weather's been crazy today. It's driving me nuts. Let me put them two 2x4s over on the rack and I'll be right back to cut these other small boards. Now what I'm going to do here is cut 1 inch up from the bottom, and that'll give me a 1 inch board there, which will be fine. you can see that has a pretty good wane on it there. So that's the bad part. The problem with rain is that the sawdust sticks to you when you're wet. So I've just about had it here, sticking to my hands and everything else. Alright guys, have a good one. So we got, what do we get here? 2 1x4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 2x4s. So that's not bad. 2 1x4, 10 2x4s. Ought to get that or a little more out of the next batch. Have a good one.